Hello, everybody, and welcome back. This is the Price to Sell podcast. I'm your host, Matthew Campoli, and today we have another really exciting, very exciting guest.
Really? That exciting?
Very exciting guest. The most exciting, actually.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
We have Mr. Mark Salerno.
Thank you for having me here today, Matt. I know we've been trying to coordinate this for quite some time, but I'm happy to be here.
Like team going through all these emails.
Yeah,
we're finally here.
We're finally here. We're here.
So we're here, guys.
That's
You got him.
matters.
He's not leaving.
All that matters. We're here.
He's not leaving. Well, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
And I know a lot of people are gonna be excited about this one. Have you spoken on a Toronto real estate podcast or anything like recently?
No, Matt. To be honest, I don't do too many podcasts.
Yeah, right. I was gonna say.
I think
I feel like you would, but I'm trying to think.
One of the last real podcasts I was on was with Stefan Arano, and it was he passed away during COVID, and I think it was 2017.
Wow!
So it was a while ago. It's been a few, right?
Well, I'm honored.
Well, thank you for having me.
Have all the updates.
We've known each other for probably a handful of years now, and I love what you're doing here. So I said, let's do it. Let's make it happen.
Love it, man. It's gonna be a banger.
Yeah.
Okay, so for those that don't know you, let's just get into a brief intro. Who Mark is? How long you've been in the business?
Okay. I've been in the business. Well, my name is Mark Salerno. I've been in the business since 2006, August. So, 16 years now, I think. If my math is okay.
Don't ask me.
16 plus years. Real estate's been in my blood forever. My dad was in the business from the early, mid-60s. And I got in at 20 years old. It was something I always wanted to do. And happy I've done it. And I'm here still, surviving in this business. It's been very good to me. So I love what I do. I don't feel like I work. It's just one of the best things that could have ever happened in my life, to be honest.
Yes, that's the best feeling.
Yeah,
absolutely. I can resonate with that.
Absolutely.
And you're the broker owner of Salerno Real Estate?
Yeah, I'm the broker of record and broker owner of Salerno Realty Inc. We changed the name over to 2019. We changed it back.
Okay.
So basically the company was Salerno Real Estate in 1970. My dad changed it to Euromart Realty in 1980. When I took over the company in 2009, it was still Euromart Realty, and I was juggling because, we're a small company. I don't have many people at it. Mm-hmm. And I was having two websites, Salerno Real Estate, Euromart Realty. I said, one day, let's go back to what it was. Make it simple. Everybody knows it as Salerno anyway. So we dropped the Euromart, went back to Salerno Realty Inc. in 2019, and that was probably the best decision I ever made as an owner to date, for sure.
Yeah, it's got that flow.
It's easy.
It flows. The name is nice.
And it's just
a nice
easy.
name.
It's a clean look. People always used to say, not that there was anything bad with Euromart, but people used to wonder, Euromart. And actually what people used to say to me, and I didn't think about it till the end, was Euromart. They're sounds like Walmart. Is it cheapening the brand?
Yes,
right?
true.
We do a lot of luxury stuff too, so I never thought of it like that. And switched it over, and it was a good decision.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I agree. It's a super good look, super high end. It fits everything you do. So
thank you.
You guys rock it. So I want to get into, you are one of the pioneers of social media.
Cool. I like that.
You like that?
Cool. Yeah. We've been doing it for a while.
I'm going to confidently say that.
Okay. I like that.
Because especially with real estate. Well, real estate really. Yeah. Because when I got into the business, you were just banging out content.
Yeah.
Big inspiration.
Thank you.
And not many people were doing it at the time. So I feel like you got into the space where there was so much opportunity, and you just took it by the horns. It's what gave you that initiative to just get in front of the camera like that and just start pumping it out?
The funny thing, Matt, when I started doing a little bit more hardcore, 2016, 2017, I started believing in the whole social media thing way before that. 2000, I think I'd go back to maybe 2007, 2008, Facebook.
Okay.
So imagine at the time, Facebook came around in 2006, or at least that's when we jumped into it. I got into real estate, again, I was telling you, 20 years old. So what did we do on the weekends back in the day? Everyone would go out to clubs, go out partying. You'd post an album, right, of what you did on the weekend.
Yes.
I started posting real estate albums. And people were like, why are you posting houses? And I'm like, I don't know. Why not? It's free.
Yeah.
So I got one of my first leads through Facebook posting albums. So I continuously started with that. Then got married, 2013, had a personal account that was because Instagram, that's when I started about 2013. It was personal and real estate. Once I had a kid, my wife's like, Mark, I don't want you posting our child and, being public. So I said, okay, I'm going to start a real estate account. Did it. and just started seeing that video was the way to go. So I started transitioning into the whole video scene, and people used to like shit on me, man. Like when I started doing that at the beginning, other realtors would say, why is he posting stuff? Like, because people say, oh, he's doing videos. It's nice, right? But the older realtors would be like, social media is a joke. It's only kids doing it. That's not going to help him sell houses. And they would literally say that about me at listing presentations. And that's what like the owners would tell me. And I was
Interesting.
like, okay, cool. Fast forward 2022, everyone from 15 years old to 80 years old is now on TikTok.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it was a great start to get in there early because it kind of separated us from most, in the industry. And it helped us out a lot, for sure.
Yeah, and it helped you blow up.
It did. It
right?
helped.
And because you took that... You took the opportunity where the lack of competition at the time.
Yeah, it was a very niche.
You became that name.
Yeah, it was niche.
And you just ran with it.
Yeah, for sure.
So
it helped.
It did help, man.
It helped a lot.
Yeah,
and
usually when you get that resistance, it's like that's the path you got to go on.
Yeah, that's why I said forget it. I just got to keep doing it. And I enjoyed it, Matt. That was the other thing too. And like, it took a lot more time, right? Like, how it is. If you, rather than just sending a photographer out, hey, wait for your photos, you're going there, you're at the shoot, shooting multiple videos. You're sometimes there 4 or 5 hours at a house, right? So it takes time, but well worth it. Well worth it.
That leads to my next question is, how did you find the time to stay so consistent? Because you were like, and you still are. You are consistent. You are pumping out content,
So Matt, like the one thing that's different, I guess, from what I did just from the beginning, when I took over the company, I was 24 years old, right? So I was handling every aspect of the business. So I was used to that.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're talking, when I first, in 09, man, was booking my own appointments, like writing them down in the sheet. I didn't have an office. I was booking them in for me. So like I always did the grinding work. So same thing with social media, it was a full-time job. We're talking 5-6 hours a day on Instagram, doing all that stuff to the point like I'm going out to dinner with my wife and Mark, no phone at the table when we go to dinner. I'm like, hang on, I gotta get this post up.
Yeah.
So it really took a big commitment, and a lot of people look at the success and be like, oh, it's going on social media and posting stuff, but it's a full-time job to the point where 3 years ago only, I kind of started expanding with the team, and I brought in someone who helps me now 5 days a week, 40 hours a week to do social media related posts. But saying that, I still run my own account. So Salerno Real Estate, I am the only person who controls that. That's my baby. And I just don't want to delegate that, because the problem is it takes away from the personal aspect of it, right? Like it's me. So I want that to resonate with people.
Yeah. I'm very similar.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. People are like, are you the one commenting? I'm like, yes.
Yes.
Because that's I have a personality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unique. You have a unique personality.
And that's what people like,
You say certain
right?
lingo. I say certain lingo.
Yeah, they're going to know if it's you or if it's not you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy commenting saying, awesome, fantastic.
Well, the problem, like, when you talk about, because there's so many beautiful things about social media. There's a lot of garbage.
There's a lot of garbage. Let's talk about the garbage.
Over the last, handful of years, what I've noticed is with the whole rise of real estate in general, like real estate's always a topic that everybody talks about. It doesn't matter where you go.
Yeah.
Real estate's always on everybody's mind. And especially with social media, you can't scroll through your phone without seeing something real estate oriented now.
Yes.
Which is great. But I feel like the focus is starting to get lost.
Yeah.
Right? Because, look, it's one thing, it's great. We want to produce content. It's okay to be funny. It's okay to, create different style videos, but you can't lose what the actual thing we're trying to accomplish is. And that's trying to service our clients.
For sure.
Buying and selling real estate. I just think it's becoming a little bit of a lost art because people are focusing too much on the likes and the comments and the views and the followers.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit
Yep.
about that stuff? Look, we have a big following. It's great. I would never want to trade that because that's helped my business propel to where it is today. But there's a lot of smoke and mirrors right now online, and it's sometimes a little irritating to see. And I try and just focus on what we do at the end of the day. But yeah, it's a funny thing right now.
Yeah,
that we're starting to see.
Definitely. There's a lot of fake shit out there too. You know what I mean?
It's bad.
And yeah, like really bad, man. Like like people hit me up for the podcast. Like, I have great following.
Yeah.
But you can really read through it.
Yeah.
If you know what to look for.
Absolutely.
So just like it just sucks. Like it's you can tell the organic ones. Like yours is super organic. You have incredible engagement. You know what I mean?
But Matt, a lot of people, I'll be honest, like even my photographer used to say, Mark, how many clients of his that are, because they see I'm working with him, they're like, Mark, they come up to me and ask me like, does Mark buy followers? And I sit there and I'm like, guys, if you knew the amount of time
Yes.
that was put into this, and again, like the most important thing is real estate now, because it's more saturated. When Reels, for example, first came out, I was like, nobody's taking advantage of using Reels. We used to have Reels popping off 200, 300, 400, a million views because nobody was doing it. But now everybody's doing it. So I think Instagram in general right now has really suppressed organic behavior. And I don't know if you noticed it.
No, I have, yeah.
So when COVID started, I just jumped on the TikTok wagon. I'm like, let me try this.
Yeah.
I started posting some videos. Oh my God, a couple 100,000 views. I have no followers. I have like 500 followers.
Yeah.
I was like, so I jumped on the TikTok wagon.
Yes.
That's helped out a lot too. So it's just, you got to be in it to win it.
Yes.
Like that's the reality at the end of the day. And I think people need to focus on what works for you, because what works for me may not work for you, and what works for you may not work for me. You have to find something that works in your realm and you kind of stick with it.
Definitely. And would you, is there like, because you've been in everything early.
Yeah.
Would there be a platform right now you're kind of looking at? Is anything new coming out?
Nothing really that's popped off that I've really put too much attention to. Like right now, I think the primary focus is TikTok and Instagram still. When Clubhouse came out, I kind of jumped on it right away.
Me too, a bit.
A little bit, but I actually popped on it this morning for whatever reason. I haven't been on it for a year. I never really got into it too much because it takes a little bit more time, right? Because that's more listening, speaking. And I think it's a great concept, but and a lot of great connections I can see have been made.
Yes.
Especially in the real estate realm, I see people, that, hey, they met on Clubhouse. But for me, it's strictly been Instagram and TikTok pretty much for the last, X amount of years.
Yes. And you're crushing it.
So we're doing okay.
So you arguably have one of the biggest real estate accounts out there for Toronto Realtor.
Yeah, one of them. One of them for sure.
Well, I've also been followed by 30,000 different Mark Salernos. So
please don't start with that. That's the story of my life, bro. I wake up every morning, and I used to love TikTok because there was no fakes on there.
Yes.
TikTok's become like a shit show for fakes. Like they'll just go on and comment on my posts.
Yeah.
As the fake accounts about, hit me up on WhatsApp for a life-changing crypto investment.
Yes,
and I just boil, bro. If I were to go on TikTok and type them in, there's probably hundreds. Instagram's been really bad, but we're talking across every platform.
Yeah.
LinkedIn, Facebook, dude, like dating websites.
Yeah.
I get messages from women saying like, I just realized you're not the guy I've been talking to.
No way.
Bro, it's bad, eh?
That's a compliment.
No, listen, it's a but it's not, because these people are getting scammed for money.
For sure.
Like, I'm sure you see it. Like I'm trying to get verified.
Yes.
And I'm not trying to get verified, Matt, because, oh my God, the blue tick. It's a cool thing to have, but I want the verification for one reason. So I can go and report accounts and they'll come down. Or when I ask people to report the accounts, on Instagram, it says, is it a celebrity or public figure? You can type the name in without being verified. It doesn't give you that ability. And these people are legit scamming people for money, and they're hitting me up in my DM, my emails from different countries across the world, being like, I just got scammed for 500 euros.
Yes.
Like, why did you do that? I'm like, I'm a realtor here in Toronto. Look at my stuff. Check me out.
Yeah.
And that's the most frustrating part. And on top of it, a lot of people don't know that I'm married. A lot of people don't know that I have two beautiful girls at home.
Yeah.
Because I don't post my personal family stuff on my business account, because the times I have, they've created fake accounts. Then they'll take the pictures of my kids and they'll post them and saying that I'm widowed.
Yeah.
And that's what they'll put on the dating sites too, and like all these other spots. And it's disheartening. I get it. That's what happens when you get a bigger account. It's gonna come naturally. But if you're verified, people know, hey, that's the real Mark, and these people are, the fake people, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's brutal.
I have it too, man. I get all the fake accounts. And guys, just a giveaway out there, if you get any messages from anything, like me, Mark, someone with a decent following, and it starts with a hello and a wave, it's fake.
Trouble.
Okay? I would never do that.
Yeah.
Neither would Mark.
Absolutely.
So that's the exact same copy and paste. Hello with a wave. Ignore it.
And then a link comes in, and then you're done.
Then you're done.
Don't click any links.
Don't click the links.
Yeah, links are trouble.
So I want to get into the luxury market.
Yes.
You crush it.
Yeah.
You crush it.
We do some luxury.
You crush it. Just take it, okay?
Okay.
Receive that. And so I want to dig into that a little bit, because you post some crazy homes like that. Along with your marketing, you present some really cool things, with your brand and everything. And it's really cool to see. It's fun to watch. It's engaging, and that helps with your whole, your growth and everything. So how would you, like, prior to your exponential growth on social media?
Yep.
Were you already in the luxury market, or did that help you kind of get into it?
We were tapped into it. I don't think as much now, and in different areas, because that's the thing. Like, the social media has allowed us to sell in 18 to 20 different cities every year. Like, but we've kind of. I think my first ever luxury home I sold, I won't forget, it was $1 million house when $1 million was like $1 million bucks, and this was 2009. You know, and I was a little bit younger at the time too, and I didn't have these gray hairs, and it just kind of went from there. And I think it depends on what you're putting out. And when people say, yes, we do a lot of luxury, I don't want to say it's only the luxury. I just think in general, we attract nicer listings, if you want to call it that. And it's not to say that we'll work on everything, Matt.
You will work on everything.
And that's very important. Like, we'll service 1-bedroom rental apartments all the way up to multi-million-dollar homes, and everybody gets the same treatment. And I want to make that very clear. Yes.
He literally will post everything equally, and I've seen it.
Yeah.
With even rentals, and you will virtually stage a rental and, like,
we take
give it your all, man.
Of everything,
no,
Matt.
Totally respectable.
I can't put shit out there. It has to look good. I don't care even if it's like not the nicest thing. It gets professional photos. It gets the professional treatment.
That's huge. Yeah. And I'm the same way. Yeah. And like I said, mad respect for that, because some people will reach your high level like yourself, and then just be like, oh, rental, let me take a camera picture from my phone.
Absolutely.
Right.
I'd rather make no money.
Yes.
And put out a proper product because it resonates with what we do.
Yes.
Than put out garbage and people comment and saying, did you see Salerno put out that shit box and he took photos? And look, our phones take great photos.
Yeah.
Could save the $250, but take a professional photo.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah, I love that you do that.
Yeah, for sure.
But where were we? Luxury. So yes, now that you've tapped into it, you had that $1 million listing.
Yeah, look, it started from the $1 million listing. People start seeing it, and then you just got to steamroll from there, right? And I think what you do with those opportunities is what allows you to get to the next one, right? So, one of the ones I think that really propelled the luxury listings for us was the property I had at Edenvale Drive in King City. Those are all estate homes. At the time, it was
Red Ferrari?
No, the white Aventador.
Okay.
So for that one, that was 2017. Yep. It was a $6+ million listing. Shout out to one of the lawyers I use, Lathan. He hooked me up with a white Aventador. I was like, oh my God, this is sick. He dropped it off at the house, got to drive it in the video.
Yeah.
And like that was one of the first. It was a grind, eh? I had 63 showings at that house to get it sold. It took me about 1.5 years to get done. Finally got it done. And it was a big sale for me at the time. I think that really was the one that kind of pushed me into a different level of attracting new buyers. But we also had that listing kind of spread like wildfire online, right? Yes. And that's a big thing. You got to remember, being one of the first, or I hate saying one of the first because I don't want to sound like that guy, but like being one of the first people to like get into the whole realm of the real estate in social media. We had the large accounts, the Inspire Me Home Decors, and these larger accounts reposting our stuff. So that helped a lot too, because people would see that, oh wow, my listing got posted on an account with 5-6 million followers. So it was just kind of a steamroll effect from that moment.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say something, because I like to service everything, and I talk a lot, Matt. Sorry.
No, please do.
I talk a lot, okay? But people will message us and be like, I know you sell a lot of nice stuff, so I don't know if you would do this. And it's like, what, sell $1 million townhouse? Please.
Yes.
I rather sell 20 $1 million townhouses than a $6 million home. And I know it's not as fancy and as cool online, but we both know those sell faster, right? And it takes a lot of time to sell these bigger luxury homes. I know the market's been a little bit hot as of late, but it's a different animal.
Yes.
Totally different beast when you're in the luxury sector, right?
And with that different beast, is it because of what defines that different beast? Is it the client? Is it their mentality? Obviously, it's a higher price point, so your range of buyers is really smaller, narrowed down. What kind of extra work or different steps are taken?
Being at every showing.
Yes.
Personally. Right? So, and it's not to say that some luxury listings there's not a lockbox. If the owner asks us to be there, and we have a luxury listing, we're going to be there. And the reason, not more because, you're making more money in commission, but if you're showing a 10,000 square foot house, if you walk into it for the first time with your clients, you might not know what to point out. But if I'm there, I always believe that I can sell the house better than anybody.
Yeah.
Because I'm able to highlight the features of the house and bring people through. And I think once you have that flow going and you've done it enough times, there's houses I could walk through with my eyes closed and just be like, turn on the lights, off, because I know the house inside and out.
Yes.
And that resonates with the buyer and with the buyer's agent. So I think that's one of the bigger things that takes the time out of when you're servicing a luxury listing.
Yeah, it's really true because there's so many different finishes, expensive finishes, importing, imported
small
material.
Details. It's the small details in those types of houses, but not to neglect that from smaller houses too, because sometimes the smaller houses have them also. So I think it's just very important, the presentation.
Yes.
From start to finish, whether you're there or not, the presentation is huge. And that's why for us, presentation is everything. We do not skimp, spend the money.
Agreed, man.
You have to spend them. Don't be cheap.
Yes.
If you're listening to this or watching this, don't be cheap as a realtor. Matt, there's times on a $1 million house, you make 25 grand, that we spent $16,000 to sell that house.
Yeah.
You don't sell it, you're screwed, because then you're losing a lot of money. But that's the risk and reward process. Some are going to take more money, some are going to take less, but just go all in on every listing. That's my, I guess, piece of advice for anybody listening to this.
Agreed, and it's your brand.
Yeah,
and it reflects you.
Absolutely.
And it shows. For someone who's looking to get into luxury, let's say, so an agent that's like, they feel it deep down, like, I really want to be, like, my dream is to be a luxury agent.
Yeah.
What are they're already in the business, let's say. What's their steps?
Look, you got to get involved in it. It's like, oh, well, I don't have a luxury listing, so what do I do? Well, start posting more about luxury. Start talking more about the luxury market. If you're not talking about it, you're not hanging around potentially people that are in that sector, it's going to be hard to break into it. What I would try and do is reach out to maybe some agents in your office or agents from other office that have higher-end homes. You're not going to go walk up to somebody and say, hey, can I do an open house at an $8 million listing? Because typically you don't do open houses for those types of properties, but maybe go to agent open houses that are hosting it, post some content while you're there. Hopefully that starts coming back now with everything opening up. Take on a nicer listing that maybe is $2 million. Say, hey, do you mind if I run an open house for you there? Because now all of a sudden there's $2 million coming in, buyers coming in. If you're only posting about basement apartment rentals, you're going to attract basement apartment clients, right? So it's all about what you're speaking about and to who you're speaking about it, right?
Very
that's
true.
one of the things I would recommend for people.
Very true. What you're putting out there.
Absolutely.
And don't be scared.
You can't, man.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one thing. Do not be scared. Do not give a shit what anybody thinks. Just do it. Just do it. Like, people lose because they don't try and they're just afraid. Who cares?
Yeah.
Like, that's my mentality, man. I just do it. You have to.
Let's get into mentality.
Okay.
What you are a engines firing all cylinders type of guy. Broker record, broker owner, family, children, crushing it.
Yeah.
What is there? What keeps you afloat? Like what keeps you going every single day?
You know what? What I love about this business is every day is a different day. So that's the exciting part of the business. But like growing up, Matt, I used to play a lot of sports. So I've always had that like competitive, mentality. And it's not to say competitive like we're competitors. We're not competitors. I don't believe that anybody is a competition for me in the business simply because there's so much business to go around. But I think you just need to have that fucking Mamba mentality, bro. Like, that's something that you can't teach at the end of the day. And, look, I have team members and, people always approach us about coming onto the team. And it's like, we're not a big team, but you need to have that and show the people that you're working with that you have that. Because if you're a grinder, you're a grinder. People message me all the time and say, Mark, like, what you do resonates so well with me because you motivate me. And if you can motivate somebody, you're on the right path. And I just think having that like that killer mentality is huge, and you have to sacrifice, Matt. Like, that's one thing I would have to say to realtors in general, because I just feel like nowadays people see a lot of the success online and it's like I come in and I expect.
Yes.
Don't expect anything in this business. I'm 16 years in the business, last year top 30 in Ontario, and I feel like I have to start at the bottom all the time.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. The one thing I think is when you feel like you've made it and you stop is when you're done. So just always have that mentality to do more. What else can I do to be better? What else can I do to make the people around me better? And that's the most important thing, that your mindset has to be with waking up every day.
Yeah.
Matt, there's been a lot of sacrifice in this business, bro. Time. You know, I remember younger, before I was married, like, again, at 21, 22, bro, you're partying. You're out having a good time. I wasn't going out on the weekends because I knew I had to, you know, run open houses in the morning, and I was there for a site while everyone was going up to the cottage. I remember when my grandmother was passing away, bro, I had an open house set up. It was for my clients. This was in the 17 market when things were going to shit. My clients had bought a house. We couldn't sell their house. I had an open house set up. I think it was a 2 to 4 open house. My grandmother passed away at 11:30. Like, I was with her. I remember going home, showering, putting on my suit, and going to the open house.
Wow.
Bro, I was broken, bro. But I did it because I knew I had an obligation to my clients. Like, bro, when my dad passed, the next day, bro, I was at a fucking client's house, buyer side, negotiating a deal.
Wow.
I was broken.
Holy.
But I did it because, and people might look at me and say, wow, he's got no heart.
Nah.
Bro, it's not that.
Yeah.
It's that if I'm going to commit to you, I'm giving you 150%. But that's who I am. It's either I go all in or I'm out, bro.
Yeah.
Straight up. I'm getting a little like thinking about it, but it's just the truth, bro, at the end of the day. So,
well, what separates the great from the average, you know?
Hope so.
No, you're already there, man.
Hope so.
You've been doing super well. You are an inspiration for like many in the business.
Listen, Matt, you know what? Like, I do these live videos and stuff once a week because people come in and talk and they thank me about it. It's like, bro, I don't get paid to do live videos and Q&As and give people that time, but I do it because I enjoy it. Like, the fact that people like it, it's like, fuck, what else can you ask for?
Yeah.
Really, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's a nice thing to know.
Yeah.
At least that's how I feel.
Well, you found what fulfills you.
Yeah.
And that's
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, for any human, it's not the superficial things. It's not the money, the monetary, the shiny objects. It's that fulfillment.
When you speak about that, like, people always ask, like, you know, money's part of what we do, anything in life. You work, you get paid for it. And I've said this before, and it kind of makes me seem like a goof when I say it, but there was probably a point in my career, 5-6 years in a row, where I didn't look and see how much I made at the end of the year. And that sounds really stupid as a business person. I'll be honest. What do you mean? You don't know what you made by the end of the year? No, because I don't focus on the money, Matt. From day one, I never focused on the money because I always said to myself, if I do a good job, I'll get paid for it. As long as I can put food on the table, buy things in life that I want, and I'm able to achieve that, I'm not going to look, oh, that deal's worth 28, that's worth 42, that's worth 10. Fuck it. It's going to come. As long as you're working and you're working hard and you're, getting the job done, but do not focus on the money. People lose that mentality. New agents, oh, I want to make X. Yes, set goals.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because if you don't set goals, there's nothing to look forward to, but don't focus on money.
Yeah.
There's some agents where, like, all they talk about is the money, and it's sickening.
Yeah.
It's sickening.
Yeah.
And again, just don't focus on money.
Yeah. That's the secret. That's secret sauce. That is called an abundant money mindset.
Is it? Okay.
Because there are people who are stressed out there.
Yeah.
So let's say people, they look at their debt every day. They look at their bank account like shit, and I have all these payments coming out.
Yeah.
They're constantly putting themselves in like a lower vibrational state where it's like I'm focusing on the negatives about money in my life.
Yeah.
And they're only going to attract that. I'm similar to you where I don't look at anything either.
You can't, bro.
I don't.
You can't.
And I actually hate when I get like a year to date, like, fuck, now I know where I'm at. I hate that because I have that mentality where like I've already surrendered to the fact that I'm going to do well. And because it's a byproduct of me helping people, putting myself out there.
Yeah.
Like, I have so much belief in myself that's not a concern for me. I just know I'm gonna make it. I know I'm gonna do big things.
And Matt, I've noticed just even in the last couple of years of, like, following you and like knowing you, seeing how you've taken it to a new gear. I'll be honest, like, from the outside. So I want you to understand that. I see it. Like, you're doing well, and again, like, you're just doing things the way you want to do it, right? And I guess it's working.
Yeah.
So keep doing it, bro. It'll continue to get better. Put it that way.
Yeah. I believe that. And
Absolutely.
I know it will.
Absolutely.
So, like, it doesn't, it's not, there's no negative effect with that associated with me. So it's like, it's fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's exciting.
Absolutely.
I love it. Okay. So we're gonna get to the end now.
Let's do it.
This has been good though. I have some questions from Instagram from the fans.
Cool. Is this the one from this morning?
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. I have a question myself first. Though.
Okay.
When are you gonna sell Drake's house?
Drizzy, bro, I'm probably one of the biggest supporters of OVO. Like, I think I own every piece.
Yeah.
That would be nice one day. Like, that'd be cool. So Drake, if you ever need to sell your house, you know what to do. Hit me up. You can find me pretty easily. That'd be cool.
He will. It's gonna happen.
That'd be cool.
We're gonna snippet that.
I've never
piece
actually
right
met him either. Eh?
No,
never met him.
You would think. It's always the Drake songs and OVO.
No, I like the brand. Mm-hmm. I'm good friends with his trainer, with Rocks, solid, super guy. But I've never met Drake. And it's not really one of those things like I could have said, hey, why don't you introduce me, bro?
Yeah.
If it happens, it happens.
Exactly.
It is what it is at the end of the day.
Exactly.
It's cool, man. I just love the fact that he's from Toronto and he represents our city. And that's one of the biggest reasons why I like him. Obviously, his music's incredible, but
yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Okay, so here's some questions.
Let's go.
From Michaela, advice for new agents.
New agents, I say the same thing to them all the time. If you're brand spanking new, try and get around maybe some of the seasoned people in your office, and maybe not even seasoned, but the successful agents, hang around them. Again, don't look for the money aspect of it. See what you can do to add value to them. Because I'll tell you, if you can go in there and help an agent with maybe some of the stuff that, they're busy to do, and open houses, open house signs, running CMAs, just certain things to add value to them, they'll probably throw you a bone here and there. Hey, why don't you jump on this listing? I love what you've done for me. And that's the process of doing things without anything expected in return, because I think the value of even being able to go on a listing appointment with a seasoned agent, even if you don't open your mouth the entire time, you just sit there and see how they speak to clients or listen to them on a phone call. That stuff is better than the money, because you're gaining experience that you would normally not get as a new agent because you don't have the opportunity. So put yourself around opportunities is what I would answer to that. Beautiful.
And that I got a lot of new agent questions. So for anyone who asked new agent questions, you pretty much hit all the points there. What would you say percentage-wise, if you even know, but like what percentage of business comes, this is another question. What percentage of business or leads comes directly from social media?
A shit ton. And it's like a lot, man.
That's a high percentage.
Yeah, like a shit ton. No, I would like to think it's 80+%. And it's not necessarily like, is it directly coming from someone hitting me in my DM? But like the conversation always starts, I always see you on my Explore page, or I've been watching what you're doing on Instagram. Mm-hmm. Or look, obviously a lot of it's referral based too that we get, that we've done good work for other people. Man, I don't cold call. I don't send flyers. I don't do any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So like I have to say a majority of it is from social media. And I'm going to tell one quick story. I know time's running out.
No, tell it.
A quick story.
Yeah.
TikTok. I was doing a live last summer. During the live, I look at my phone. I get a page that says, call so-and-so RE TikTok. I'm like, TikTok live. I'm like, okay. Get off the phone, call the person. They're like, hey, Mark, my son, who's 9, follows you on TikTok and said, hey, Mom, you got to look at this guy. Great. Can you sell my mom and dad's house? Sure. Where's the house? It's in Richmond Hill. I'm like, okay, we don't do a crazy ton of business in Richmond Hill. Fine. Long story short, that TikTok live, which I probably had 15, 20 people in, converted a $2.1 million sale, and they purchased a home with us in Aurora for $1.5 million.
Wow.
So if you're asking me where the business comes from, a lot of it comes from social. And again, whether it's indirect or direct, when people see you, it's going to open up doors.
Exactly. Do you get hit up on the street sometimes?
A lot.
Yeah. Figured.
I was actually dropping a deposit check off at a house last night, and this girl was walking her dog, and she's like, Mark, Salerno? I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, my sister told me she saw you in Schaumburg. Her sister works at a gas station.
Yeah.
This was about a month and a half ago. We were driving out to Innisfil. I stopped in Schaumburg to get gas, and she's like, are you the guy from TikTok? I'm like, yeah. I laughed, bro. I was at the airport when I came back from Miami the other day. And they sent me over to the side part for the COVID, and I was filling out the form manually. He's like, you Salerno real estate from TikTok? I'm like, yeah. So it happens. It's weird because it's like, bro, I'm a realtor. I'm not a celebrity. It's like, but I guess people see you, right? And if you're not in the game, you can't win. So get on social, man.
Yeah.
Straight up. Doesn't matter how many followers you have.
I got to get on TikTok.
Get on. What are you waiting for?
I know.
Just get on. You got tons of content from this stuff.
I'm going to ask 2 more here.
Shoot.
Are you scared of technology,
No.
future technology coming in the space?
No. Because probably 15 years ago, realtors were asked the same question. Are you scared of social media? Are you scared of the fact that, regular everyday people have access to information? They have the same information we have now, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
You can go on websites and check sold prices. Why are they still hiring us? Because we're still a very vital part of the process. Do I think that technology will disrupt the industry? Yes. How long will that take? I don't know. But I don't think we're at the point yet where it's, let me throw on a pair of goggles and buy a house.
Yeah.
Again, if you have that $8 million house or $4 million house and you have to be present to show it, you're just going to let people off the street into your property without having a realtor present. Mm-hmm. So I think we're still a ways away from that, but eventually, yes. And I think that'll have to do with the whole blockchain and everything like that.
Yeah.
I'm not scared about the metaverse and stuff like this. Not to say I don't believe in it, but I don't think it'll eliminate us completely. What hopefully it'll do is it will eliminate a big part of the sector right now that's getting into real estate, because I think that having X amount of realtors when 80% of them shouldn't have their real estate license because they're actually not qualified enough to be representing people.
Yeah.
I hope it takes away from that.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
That I would hope.
Yeah, agreed. And then last question, on an investment side.
Yes.
So right now, what are some good areas or your favorite areas to invest in properties?
Look, I always like staying around transit and branded. So if you're talking about condos, I've always been a big believer in branded buildings as opposed to just the cookie cutter buildings. Mm-hmm. What I would say in regards to investment, especially in kind of the realm we're in right now, it's the end of April 2022. Be careful on the outskirts, because if the tree gets shaken, the outskirts is going to get hit a lot faster and a lot harder than being in the core. If you're buying in downtown Toronto long term, you're going to be a winner. No matter what. Mm-hmm. But if you're buying an hour and a half out, 2 hours out of the city, spending X amount of dollars on something, you could be in some trouble because, I've seen products, we're talking about certain stuff like, I don't want to say where, but like north of Barrie, 20, 30 minutes away. And we're talking about 50 footers at $1.6 million starting point today.
Yeah.
That scares me because those houses were 800,000, before the coffee machine started.
Yeah.
So just try and invest in just more prime locations and you'll be okay long term, because I think we live in one of the best countries and one of the best cities in the world.
Yes, agreed. Well, man, you've been incredible.
Thank you.
It's been a really good one.
Absolutely.
I love it when I just black out. So
thank you for having me. Thank you for having me today.
And for those that want to follow you, where's the best spot to find you?
You can just type in Salerno Real Estate either on Instagram, TikTok. That's it. Simple. Hit the follow button.
Hit that button.
Yeah. I appreciate everybody who already follows me. So thank you.
Amazing. So we're going to put all your links everywhere anyways.
Appreciate it.
And to everyone out there, again, thank you so much for tuning in. You guys are awesome. I love all the support you guys bring. And we're only going to keep bringing you amazing gems like this one. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you in the next one.